Hello and welcome to our next reflection. We talk about looking after ourselves. Remember at the beginning we talked about the various parts of ourselves, the spiritual, the conscious, and the unconscious, and how all this has an effect on us. And in order to look after ourselves, we need to have and maintain the right balance between all of those areas of who we are. And so looking after our physical selves, our mental health, our spiritual health, our spiritual life. Today we talk about the unconscious a bit more. And one possible tool that we can use in order to help us get in touch with what usually stays under the surface. And that is dreams. We all dream. Some of us are good at remembering what we have dreamt. Some of us don't pay any attention. Some of us claim that we never dream at all or very rarely. Many reasons for us saying that. And there will be many reactions, even as soon as I mention the word dreams, or pay attention to your dreams. You might be saying, well, what is this brother talking about? Why dreams? And so our instinctive reaction to something like that may be, well, nonsense. All I would say to you is, bear with me and don't dismiss it so quickly. Remember, we're talking about the Lord communicating with us in so many different ways. In fact, everything contains a message to us. The whole of creation around us is a message from God to us, to admire His beauty, to recognize His wisdom, to acknowledge His power. And so wherever we open our eyes, we know that God is communicating something. When we look deep within ourselves, people like St. Augustine would help us reflect and recognize that we are the very image and likeness of God. And the very things we are able to do, the very gift of memory, is a reflection of eternity. And so we are created in this wonderful way. And so be open to the possibility that God can also speak to you, reveal something to you about what you need to address in your life, or maybe something about your past that you need to reintegrate in your life, learn to accept, maybe learn to forgive yourself for something you have done. All of these things the Lord can also do through our dreams. We have many examples of these things in the Old Testament and the New Testament. The obvious figures of the New, Saint Joseph himself. The Lord speaking to him through the angel in a dream. Joseph of the Old Testament. Daniel. Prophetic dreams. And so the Lord doesn't simply appear to people during the day and stands before them and gives them a message. He could easily do that, but He also does it through dreams. So those are obvious messages. Some needed interpretation, but these are obvious ways in which God speaks to us through our dreams. So a dream, whatever the dream may be, whether it's that explicitly religious as though it's coming from the Lord Himself, remember, we are doing this, we are trying to interpret whatever is happening to us in the light of our faith. So we're not just following a dream without the wider context of our spiritual life, of our Christian Catholic faith. So we have the faith to guide us, and we just want to be open to the fact that the Lord can say something to me. So the first thing to recognize and to gain something from this experience is to recognize that dreams can be of importance. They can contain useful messages for me. So it needs a change of attitude, because if something is important to me, I will be open to receive it. I will be open and ready to wait for such messages whenever they come. And so even having that attitude might help me to actually remember my dreams. To be ready, well, I want to remember. I want to be in touch with myself. Because so often what comes up in our dreams is something that relates to our daily life, our experience, something may be coming up from our past that we haven't yet resolved. And so a dream might be a way of the unconscious coming up to the surface and telling me something. Martin, address this area. You haven't sorted it yet. It's not mission accomplished. You need to do something in your life. So the importance of having that attitude that actually these are important things. And if you look at a dream like a letter that you receive in the post from somebody, say somebody you love, you need to open the letter, you need to read it, you need to understand it, and then hopefully one way or another you need to respond to it. It doesn't mean writing back or getting in touch with somebody who sent it, but respond with your life. Maybe become more grateful, maybe adjust this or that or the other. Remember also that no one can tell you what your dreams mean. You are the only one who knows the answer to what that dream is about. So if someone wants to start playing the interpreter or whatever, telling you what your dream is about, well, don't listen, okay? Because nobody else is meant to be leading your life on your behalf. You are the one who needs to take responsibility for your life. So a dream is important. So first thing you can do to help yourself understand, well, what was this about, is to write a little report. So in the book here by Father Len, we talk about the dream report. Essentially, you're writing down all you can remember about what happened. Give the title to the dream. So in a nutshell, in one few words, what is this dream about? Ask yourself about the possible meanings of that dream and of the experience. So you can look at the themes that are there in the dream. Write them down. What were the actions? What was happening? Pay attention to the feelings that you have experienced during this dream. What were some key emotions you were going through? Or maybe something you are aware of as you wake up. There may be some strong feelings and emotions staying within you even after the dream is finished. And then you can ask yourself, well, what is the message for me? What is this telling me? What does it want to teach me in my daily life? And if you do just that, it will help you, first of all, to be more in touch with yourself. Some of those feelings, emotions, and it might be very obvious to you once you have written all this down. Gosh, this is really, putting me in touch with a certain situation that I'm going through or dealing with. Or maybe linking you something back to the past, some past experience or something comes to your mind. Because often we don't like to deal with our painful experiences. We want to repress them, push them down, forget about them. And so dreams can become means through which those things start coming up to us. So don't be afraid. Stop running away. Some of us are always on the run because we constantly want to avoid things. And we don't do it consciously. None of us would say, this is my mission in life, to start running from myself. But we do it. We have to accept that we do it on different levels. So the point of involving yourself with the dream is to remember that this is all about you. All those people or things you see or symbols could be all parts of who you are and what you need to do with yourself. And so you can also have a conversation with those parts of the dream, maybe those significant people that you have encountered in the dream, and have a simple conversation. Who do you which part of you are you representing? What do you wish to tell me? And then be spontaneous with those answers. There's no right or wrong. But being spontaneous might help you to actually connect with something that is of meaning and of value to you personally. So don't brush aside your dreams. Don't put them aside, say, well, that's all weird stuff, I'm not gonna mess with that. If that's how you feel, fine, leave it aside. Don't worry about it too much. If you can't remember your dreams, don't stress yourself. If the meaning doesn't become clear, well, move along. Okay, if it's important, you might have another dream that might help you again to reconnect with these things. So it's important to do what you can do. But to start out simply recording your dreams, making notes. What are those significant things and elements? And that in itself might be a very useful exercise for you as you enter this deeper journey into yourself. So as I mentioned at the beginning, take it as part of your faith journey. Okay, we're not separating anything from the other. This is all part of our experience, and it's just one of the many tools we can use to help ourselves. All I'm saying to you is pick it up, use it, make use of it, and see the benefits that will come out of this exercise of becoming more in tune with yourself, with your unconscious side. God bless.